I fell into nuclear waste. Never thought this disaster would become my turning point. Sitting in the car driving home, my body started shaking uncontrollably. The next second, a pool of black sticky substance came gushing out of my mouth. I thought it was just temporary discomfort. Forced myself to drag my body back home. I collapsed over the toilet and couldn't stop throwing up. Everything coming out was nuclear waste. A bone-chilling cold started seeping out from my marrow. I wrapped myself in the thickest blanket I had. Still shivering from the cold, I had no idea my body was quietly mutated. Woke up the next day feeling like I'd been reborn. My whole body was filled with a power I'd never felt before. Since I seemed fine, I went to the construction site like usual. Who knew I'd walk right into a gang shootout? A bullet sent me flying off the 18th floor. At that height, any normal person would have been shattered to pieces. I just laid there unconscious for a few minutes, then woke up like nothing happened. My mind went blank. The gangs were still upstairs. I ran without thinking twice. Sprinted dozens of miles without breaking a sweat. Like my body had some kind of perpetual motion machine inside, bursting through my door. There was no time to think. The gunshot wound on my shoulder needed immediate attention. Right then, my downstairs neighbor started making an absolute racket. No idea what the hell she was doing. Rage exploded inside me. I just wanted to go down and tell her to keep it quiet. One punch, and I blasted a massive hole right through her door. The neighbor hid in fear. I stood there in shock myself. To figure out what the hell was happening to me, I pulled out my wardrobe, one light push, and the 100-pound wardrobe flew across the room like paper, and the radiator. Pulled it off the wall with barely any effort, applied just a bit of pressure with my fingers, and the radiator folded like an accordion. Falling into nuclear waste had given me some kind of superpower. A bold idea exploded in my mind. I waited until midnight, put on a ski mask, and found an ATM, smashed everything around it to pieces. Then with both hands, I ripped the 100-pound machine right out of the wall, carried it straight back home. With money now, I ran to the convenience store first thing, bought a pile of my favorite ice cream, stuffed the freezer completely full. When I went to change the bandage on my shoulder, I froze. The wound had completely healed. The muscles on my body had gotten even more solid, like I could punch a bull to death with one hit. Right when I was stunned by all of this, a scream came from downstairs. I walked out and looked down. A few thugs were harassing my female neighbor. Truth is, I've always been a coward, didn't have the guts to help, pretended to walk past and headed downstairs, lit a cigarette to calm my nerves. Suddenly one of the thugs decided he didn't like my face, slapped me across the face, told me to get lost, then dragged the neighbor into her apartment. The next second, the glass window exploded. I burst through. This time, I wasn't backing down. The thug came at me with a slap. Felt